I'm Dr. Lara, and thank you for being here. Welcome to another week of Channeled Angel Messages. And before I forget, make sure that you leave some comments for me. And if you have any questions for me or the angels to answer, that would be awesome. Just put them down in the comment section and we'll get to them as soon as I can. So sit back, relax, and see what resonates for you. Okay. Okay. I it's interesting. I'm seeing like a circus and they're showing me like a merry-go-round and then they're showing me like a swing. Okay, let me see what that is. I'm not quite sure what that is. Okay, the merry-go-round is representing things going over and over and over and over again, like nothing's changing, and it feels like some people have been caught in a loop, or they feel stuck that they're in this circle of the same thing over and over again. And what the swing represents is going back and forth, but they're showing me people jumping off of the swing. So, what they're saying is that if you feel like you've been in this loop of going over and over and over again, nothing changes, get off the merry-go-round and start doing things differently in your life. And they're showing me like people hanging on like by their fingernails, resisting the change. Change is here. It's been happening. It's always going to happen because nothing ever stays the same. We have to move on. We have to adapt. We have to change to rebirth or to birth something new. And that's what they're saying is to not be afraid of the change. It feels like there's going to be a lot of changing that's really going to be taking place within the next 6 months. A change in perspective, a change in the way that you do things, a change in the way that you show up, changing with people that are in your life and how you show up with them. And I think it feels like there's a lot of people that are afraid of change because they don't like the loss of the change. And what they're saying is that it's the shedding of the old, and you're moving into a new way of being. And that way of being is so much greater, so much grander, so much more delicious than where you have been. And they're saying that it's nice that you enjoy where you're at, but there's so much more ahead of you. So don't resist the change. It's going to happen. Go with the flow. And it feels like if you accept that things are changing, that you're going to make that transition a lot easier. It's when we resist the change and we stay in that grief and we're upset because things aren't the way we want them to be, that's when the suffering begins. So if you can just come to terms with, okay, this is what's happening, I can't control it, this is how it's going, and to make the best of it and to look forward to the future with optimism and joy. Okay, let's see what else have we got here. Okay. It also feels like there's a lot of us that are tapping into our psychic gifts. Um, If you already have them, they're going to be getting stronger. If you have an inkling that you have them, they're going to be stronger. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's there if you want it. Okay, everybody has it. Some people may be more in tune with others, but that's only because they have strengthened the muscle and they have asked to be intuitive. So if you want to be intuitive, if it's sparking an interest in you, just say to the universe, I'm ready. Please help me develop this tool. And, look for things that are interesting to you that can help you build your intuition. They are saying, however, when you start building your intuition, strengthening your intuition, and getting into energy work and brightening your light, you are going to also need to educate yourself on boundaries. because coming into something new like this without an understanding of energetic boundaries, there are some places they're just showing me where you can get tripped up. It's not a bad thing. They don't want you to be afraid of it. But the more that you can educate yourself on boundaries of energy and stuff like that, it's going to be more fun for you. Okay. So keep your boundaries, keep building those psychic gifts. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah. And interesting because we had this last week about it's time to move on, but this feels like it's specific for healers, for people that want to go out and do their own business with sharing their talents. And it feels like there's some of us or some of you that are in a job that you don't really particularly like, but you're staying in it because it pays the bills and it's safe and you know what to expect. But there's another part of you that's just like waiting to express that part of you to share your talents with others because you know that you're here for a purpose. So they're saying you may not feel ready, but that might just be fear talking. But it's very clear it's time to move on. It's time to open up that next chapter. And they're not saying, quit your day job and, jump into it, but they are saying maybe start visualizing what it would be like if you were able to share your gifts and talents and get paid for it. What would it be like if you didn't have to go to that job anymore and you had the freedom to do whatever you wanted to do? So start playing around with that and start dabbling in it. Maybe give some readings to people or putting together a program or an online course or something. But get the ball rolling. Start stepping into your future. Start listening to that call that you have in your heart because there's going to be not like an urgency, but yeah, there is going to be a need for your gifts and your talents because there's a lot of people that are going to be seeking comfort and healing and awareness, and you have something that they can benefit from. So what they're saying is be ready. Be ready to help the masses because they're going to need it. Well, isn't that interesting? Fun stuff. Well, thank you. So those are the messages for today. And I do have a question that somebody had sent in, and it's about how to protect yourself from other people's energy. So, there, I could do a whole course on this. Actually, I do have a course on it. But I'm just going to go in and see what the angels have to say about protecting your energy right now in this moment that you're listening. Because if I give you too many things, or if they give you too many things, it's overwhelming. So let's just see what they have to say. So, the first thing that they want you to know about protecting your energy is to understand that you have a choice. You are not a victim to other people's energy. The only time that you're a victim to other people's energy is if you don't understand that you are, that you don't have your energetic boundaries, that you don't have the not really protection, but the things put in place. And once you have those things put in place, you don't need to protect yourself from other people's energy. You understand what your clear boundaries are. But for right now, for this answer, they're saying, first of all, make the choice that you don't want to pick up other people's energy. There is some kind of belief system or belief structure that it feels some people have, that they feel everything and they're very sensitive to other people's energy, and you are, absolutely. However, you don't have to be a victim to it. You don't have to pick it up. You don't have to take it on. It's not your job to transmute other people's energy. So that's the first thing. Just make the decision. I'm not picking that up. I don't want other people's energy. Okay. If you feel that you still want to pick up other people's energy, that it's your job to transmute other people's pain, um, take a look at that, because oftentimes when people come from that space, they're unwilling to deal with their own pain, so they take on other people's pain and they get caught up in other people's dramas and traumas so they don't have to look at their own. So they're saying for your own health and well-being, deal with your own stuff, then you won't be drawn to pick up other people's stuff. Okay. And they're also showing me, this is the last one, they're showing me about vibration. So if you're vibrating at a certain level, and this is not woo woo, this is like science. If you're vibrating at a certain level, there's a vibration that's going to meet that. Okay. So if you are coming across people that are, um, like have a lower vibration, that are grieving or energy suckers or woe is me, or all that kind of stuff, um, and you're picking up on their energy or you're taking it on, it's probably because it's a match, it's a frequency match. Okay. And so if you have like a higher frequency of joy, of laughter, of inner peace, of calmness, and those people, they're still going to be around you, but they're not vibrating at the same frequency. Okay, so you're not really going to be attracting them. However, sometimes they do come into our experience, but if you are very clear in your energy and the vibration that you want to uphold, you will recognize that the person coming into your life is toxic, is full of chaos, whatever, and you can decide, yeah, I don't want any part of that. Okay, so it's an awareness of what is okay with you and what's not, and it's about drawing your own boundaries and you taking a stand for what it is you want in your life. It is not your job to transmute other people's energy. If you want that job and it feels good to you, go for it. You know, there's many people that feel that that's what they want to do and that's what they need to do, and if that works for you, that's awesome. But if it doesn't, you don't have to do it. People can be responsible for their own energy, their own transmutation, transmute what's the transformation of their own energy. Okay, you don't have to do that. You are not responsible for other people's pain. You are not responsible for other people's happiness. Be responsible for your own. And when you do that, it actually helps other people transmute their own energy when you come up to a higher frequency of joy and love. That is much more effective than you taking on their energy. Okay. And they're showing me a picture of when you take on other people's energy, you're down in that hole and you're stuck there with them. And you're just in that. Okay. But if you have a higher vibration and you have that emanating out, it helps other people transmute their energy. And you're not down in the hole with them. Okay. You're shining your light, you're shedding your energy to help them transmute it, and then they figure out how to get out of that hole themselves. Okay. So it's much more effective to help people when you keep your energy clean, when you take care of your own traumas, clean your own house, and emanate that energy out, than it is when you take on other people's energy. Okay, that was a lot. I hope that it made sense, and I hope you enjoyed the question or the answer to the question. If you have any questions, please send them in. So you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening.